Tirtha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha Tyata 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 Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Okay. Anyone who can take me back to where we left what we did the first session? 4 schools. Okay. And the 3 turns wheel of Dharma, the 4 schools. The 3 turns wheel of Dharma, the 4 schools. The 4 schools, what are they? Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra, and Madhyamika. Okay, so what I'd like to share with you is that that these, like the numbers, try to remember them. Don't just, of course, we need to make note of them. And during your free time, just go through this. And then when you're on the way for your lunch, dinner, or just walking around, remember these, the 3 terms wheel of Dharma, the place, the target audience, and the subject matter. And for the target audience, we need to know the 4 schools. What are the 4 schools? Try to remember, learn. They're not difficult. One of the things, just try to remember them. Try to bring to the mind. Often they'll come to your mind. So once these are there in your mind, when explaining, according to South School, this is what it is. According to Chittamatra, it becomes very easy for you. Otherwise, again, you have to go back. What is Sautantrika? What is Chittamatra? And then you will not get the flow. Okay. The 4 schools, the Buddha remained silent for 49 days. And then finally, at the request of the Indra and Brahma, the Buddha decided to give the teachings heading towards Varanasi, and then turned the first wheel of Dharma. So in this connection, I'm just wondering, what makes the Buddha remain for 49 days of silence? Why? Why?
Well, the teachings were very complex for a layman to understand.
Teaching is so complex that the ordinary people can understand it. And then if that's the case, what did you teach then eventually? Right? No matter how much request comes, if this is reality, there's no point in teaching. But he decided to teach. Why? Anyone? So before also he had compassion, right?
He was preparing his course materials.
So he doesn't have to prepare the course. He's already awakened fully, right? Anyone? Matthew? Okay, somebody has to make the request. Somebody has to make the request. Why? It's a good answer, but why?
Buddha has compassion. He said,
Yes, 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 yes.
right? He knows the course material. He is the course. Right?
So why this request has to be made?
He just seems missing.
No, he's very kind. He doesn't wait for your request.
So the Dharma remains in life and it remains for the...
No, better. Therefore, even 49 days break should not happen. Better so that the flow should be there. But 49 days break is there. But they don't give the teaching.
We didn't see anyone else.
Huh?
There was no perception of anyone else. When somebody approached, then
But he know that there are some people suffering.
maybe in that state there is no one else.
Of course, there were many people. Of course, in Bihar, so many people are there.
No, his perception.
Huh?
That
He's not going to hallucination.
no,
He knows the reality. Reality is that there are so many people there to reflect themselves. What do you mean by that? To reflect himself. He doesn't reflect. He's already fully awake.
Wasn't really effort for the masses.
Huh?
He wants to see whether the public really wants to know what he has to take.
He doesn't have to want to see it. He already knows it.
The mass of
The masses, yes. But the mass is interested or not, he already knows that perfectly well. Look at this girl.
He didn't want to react unless asked by someone.
Okay, so the only ask, then he's more absorbed in this personal meditation.
Maybe there was one last doubt here.
Oh, one
React
last doubt, which means he's not fully awakened.
he had to digest that.
Oh, he yet to digest fully. He's found.
Not to fix on it.
No, he's not fully digested.
To remain with that.
Exactly, he's not fully digested.
Perhaps not
Partially,
to set
not fully awakened.
to create material, as you said, course material, but like so people are at different stages, so it's neither overwhelming nor underwhelming for any of them.
So, which means that he knows only after 49 days how to prepare to find the middle path according to the individual propensities. He discovered it only after 49 days.
During those 49.
During those 4, not before that. Not before that, he was not fully awakened.
He was awakened, but how to deliver?
So that is not awakened part. How to deliver part not awakened.
I think he was looking for Ajit.
Huh?
Someone who can help and facilitate.
So what Matthew said makes sense, but the question is still why. Anyone? This girl said something. You said it? Yeah, you already said it. Jay? No, not busy. It's over there. Hey, this is huh? Vedant, yes.
analyzing subjectivity, objectivity.
No, he has already experienced it, he realized it. You're getting it. Lopsala.
Only looking for Sangha.
Huh?
Only looking for Sangha. How to best teach, maybe create a community first.
Okay, he is planning, right?
Create a Sangha.
Create a Sangha. Okay. Okay, so he could not get the Sangha in Bodh Gaya. Okay, Lopsala.
Brahma convinced him.
Yeah.
I think that convinced him to kind of really spread it. Because when Lord Indra and Brahma came and kind of frustrated him.
Then?
I think we managed to convince him that
Okay, before that he was not convinced.
he was not convinced because he found it very complex.
Yes,
He
yes,
was
yes.
teaching it today.
So the convinced meaning he was awakened by these two people. Before that he was not awakened. Yes.
He was not convinced of whether.
So that part, conviction part is not awakened.
No, to.
The majority awaken only that part is not yet.
Yeah, he was compassionate, but still he didn't know how this.
He didn't know. That is not awakened. Still he is still.
Whereas a lay person would be able to understand.
Okay, this is very important point. Very important point. I insist. Yes, here.
Really?
Yes.
He wants that people want to receive the Dharma. Like people want to receive the
Okay, she's saying something which is very important related to what Matthew is saying. Okay, Lopsangla. But remain silent is teaching. Okay, then not to teach at all is a teaching. Huh? Okay, so the result remain silent itself is a teaching on the interdependency. Okay, this how?
Because even the Dharma, you cannot have it until you pray for it. You ask for it. You cannot have it. Even the Dharma.
Why not?
You have to pray for it. You have to go for it.
You have to request for it. You have to search for it. There should be some enthusiasm from your side. Without this, you cannot penetrate the reality. Okay, that makes sense. Tapishri?
Because what he realized wasn't something he thought he would be able to communicate to the disciples.
He was not convinced.
No, he was convinced, but
Yeah.
he didn't think that they would be ready to receive it.
Okay, he didn't think that. Actually, they were ready to receive, but he didn't realize that. He realized it.
That they were not ready to receive
Oh, he realized that. They were not ready to receive it. I see. So he remained silent. And then the two kings of the Devas and Devis, they came, and then the people became ready.
Then he created the first teaching,
The Four Noble Truths. Good. Anyone else? There. Rahul? Your name? What's your name? Kabir, yes.
Thinking about two things, Geshe.
Huh?
I'm thinking about two things here.
Yes.
One is the simple fact, like even if I have a lot of food to offer, and something they're about, they have to extend the route for people to put the food in. So that's one thing I'm thinking about in connection to what other people said. Second thing, I'm also thinking that he spent such a long time, of around 6 to 10, so what's the number of years? I'm thinking from a human psychological point of view that if he wasn't very keen on them just coming out and blabbing and just like start telling people things, he waited in patience, that somehow could have created value of it in mind of other people, that he has something to offer which he's not giving. We need to go and ask. Otherwise he wouldn't speak. So I'm just thinking from a teacher's point of view.
So what's the point? What's the problem if he gives directly?
Yeah, for me it's a skillful need of increasing the intention and this receiving capacity in the disciple.
Very good. Very good.
Maybe after 6 years of tapasya, I wanted to chill out for a few days. Take it easy for a while.
Rahul.
This concept about being requested to teach, in particular, Indra and Brahma were a representation of the people, the masses.
So,
And because they requested,
Uh.
and therefore, that is the readiness to teach. Was that
why do we need somebody to represent the people and then request? Why?
just like others have said, you need to meet with them, you need to come out and ask for their teaching.
Why?
To say that you're ready to receive.
No, why do we need to seek it? Why you don't get it directly?
You would appreciate it.
Huh?
You wouldn't appreciate it if you got directly.
So even if you don't value it, say for example, even if you don't really eat something and your hunger will be removed, what's the problem?
You wouldn't have the right intention.
So why do we need the right intention? Just eat the food and the hunger is gone.
It's not mindful.
Huh?
It's not mindful.
Why should you make your life so boring, mindful? Chill out. Why not? Why do you have to make it very boring? Huh? Why do you have to value it more? Eat the food, right? Even if you don't value it, just eat the food and your hunger is gone. Huh? It's not fun. It's not fun. The food, you eat it. It's not fun. Eat it. Huh? Why do you have to relish it? Huh?
It makes me happy.
Of course, you need good health, right?
Happiness.
You need good health.
Just to give one example, like you can't goes one person can take the boat to the water, but so many people can't make the boats to drink the water.
Yes.
Wants
Good. Good. Thank you. Okay. Ishita.
So after my feeling, and I resonate with everybody who said there, in addition to that, I feel that Buddha probably didn't have any strife left after the liberation. Because he was not, like, strife comes from some sort of agitation that I need to do this because something is not right.
Yes.
For him, it was all right.
Okay. All right.
And he-
You're liberated, not liberated is fine. The beings are suffering or happy is fine.
That is the Arhat, then not the Buddha.
There's not Arhat, then it's not a Buddha. Okay, the girl over there at the back. What's your name? Divya.
maybe what Buddha discovered was so profound that he thought that, even if I share it with people, they may not understand it.
So he thought it.
I don't know.
He might have thought it. He might have been not fully awakened.
He was awakened.
No, later on he thought. Right? Which means the earlier thought was wrong. Early judgment was wrong.
How we know he didn't teach in silence?
Huh?
How the fact that he was silent doesn't mean he did not teach silence.
Of course, he said it very clearly. That they requested the Buddha to teach and Buddha accepted. That I did not teach for 9 days.
In formulating words, maybe it was not.
Can I say,
Gentlemen, your name?
My name is Anil.
Huh?
Anil.
Anil Ban. Yes.
My question was, if he was a fully realized being with compassion for all sentient beings, why would he need the request of Indra?
Exactly. Why? He has the compassion, he has the knowledge. Why does he wait for Indra and Brahma to with the request? Why? I want to see new hands. Old hands will speak the same old thing. New hands? Dorjila.
Just you are always saying that we need to be receptive. You have to teach.
Okay, wow. Okay. Receptivity should be created. How do we create how does this create the receptivity? Say Indra Brahma making request to the Buddha. How does it create the help in creating the receptivity of the beings? What, Dorjila? How does it create the receptivity?
Just by applying the qualities of the Guru or the Buddha.
Okay, good. Navinji?
Someone is walking in a deserted area and he found the water. So between the water he's contented with that. And then after some time he realized, okay, I have to explain to the world. So, okay, there is a water and you can have a water from that.
So there's a sequence there. A sequence. The first time you're quenched. The thought to help others to identify this is not coming. Then it comes later after 49 days. So the before that and after 49 days, after 49 days he's better in terms of helping others. So 49 days he's thinking of helping others was not there, just quenching his thirst. So at that point he was not the full awakened one. He was not the solution to all the beings. Solution to all the beings became after 49 days. Okay. So, okay, Tejala.
because the wisdom of emptiness is the final medicine for removing all the sufferings of beings, and it's so precious. So Buddha was silent to show the preciousness of what he had discovered. And should this medicine not be turned into poison, the willingness, we cannot force the dharma on anyone. The beings have to want it, to really value it, and hence, and when the request was made by Indra and Rama, then the Buddha.
But the other people, they did not make the request.
Yeah, but these are the chief of the gods and goddesses. When they make a request, it means that the beings feel that, okay, if they are making a request, it carries a lot of weight, they see the importance, and they're asking for the
Wonderful. Okay, in fact, what Tejala said is like a summary of all what you said, right? Except for the chilling out, right? Except for chilling out. Otherwise, this is a beautiful summary of what everybody said, what Dorji said, right? This is a beautiful part. So the point is that I like to, this is something which many people may not understand it. Say, in the West, not all, many of the people, these children, after high school, they send for 1 year gap out. For what? To get the experience. Then they see the real life. They learn what's the real life like. Then on that basis, they start to, what many of you said, start to value the life. Start to value your money, value your resources, value your, let's say, the facilities. They start to value that. And in fact, I like to share with you one thing. Say, who's Albert Einstein? Hey, who's Albert Einstein?
The greatest physicist.
Okay, some say physicists. What Churula put it so beautifully, the greatest of the physicists. I would say greatest of the physicists, and some people may not agree. Some may say one of the greatest of the physicists. Whatever the case, he's an incredibly refined physicist, one of the legendary physicists. You know what his son? His son did not become a physicist. His one son was not a dull person. He was a very bright person, but he did not even become a physicist. And other people, they're craving to get time with his father. 5 minutes with his father, Albert Einstein. Yet he's getting 24 hours, still he is not learning anything from the father. And he's more interested in Sigmund Freud, this boy. So the father, who is more popular? Stephen Hawking, the Albert Einstein, or Sigmund Freud? Albert is more famous. Of course, in the world of psychology, Sigmund Freud is very popular, but Albert Einstein more higher level. But Albert Einstein has to write a letter to Sigmund Freud, introducing his son to Sigmund Freud. Please, meet my son. Why? His son is not interested in physics. What his father has to offer, he's not interested. World is following his father, not getting time with his father. The receptivity is not there in the son. This is why he did not become a physicist. He did not have any good information, even good information about physics. It was lacking in him. Receptivity is not there. So how to create this receptivity? This is so important. How to create this receptivity? Finally, let's say that how much benefit you get from somebody, right? How much benefit they get from this water reservoir, whole huge water reservoir. How much water did you get? It depends on how much you open up. You put the pipe, a small pipe, very narrow pipe, you get only this much water. You put a huge, the pipe opening, you will get this much of water. It depends on your receptivity. Where the source of knowledge is perfect, now how much you get is not about how much the source has, it's about how much receptive you are to this. So this receptivity we don't have because we are so sucked up by the self-grasping ignorance and sucked up by the dream, right? We don't have the receptivity to wake up. So in the conventional sense, even this receptivity is also dependent originated. Receptivity is also dependent originated, and no receptivity is also dependent originated. And we are so addicted to no receptivity. This no receptivity is also dependent originated, lucky. We are lucky that even that is also dependent originated. If it is not dependent originated, there's no hope then. Because of no receptivity, emptiness, okay, the one time, it was very funny. I was invited to a place, Assam. Is anybody from Assam? Okay, so I was invited to Assam to conduct a program, Dharma teaching. And the center was started by some local Assamese Buddhist center, and a very small center. And there are only, say the 4 or 5, the people who are there as the core group, they are extremely refined. There are 4 or 5 of them, extremely refined, very, very educated Indians, very amazing. Then the number of people attending the course, maximum about 14, 15, 16. And he was taking me from his place where I was put up to the venue, to the small center there. And on the way, suddenly I told them, one was driving, the director was driving, and the others were behind me. And I said, oh, there must be a big center here, big Buddhist center here, big Buddhist center. And I was saying that, no, Geshe, there's no center at all, Buddhist center here. No, I saw that. And he said, no, where? I said, to the left side, here, right side, to the left side. They looked at it. I said, Geshe, no, this is not a center, this is a shopping mall. I was deliberately telling them, so look, there are so many bikes, cars there, and which means very busy. I said, there must be a big center here. Okay, so what I'm saying is that this is the receptivity. Right? Receptivity of the shopping malls is huge. Receptivity of Dharma is so small. Millions of people are in Assam, but only 14, 15 people are there. And shopping mall, it's a huge thing. Yeah, okay. So this is receptivity. Luckily, even this lack of receptivity is also dependent originated, which means that lack of receptivity came into existence by dependence on many factors. Remove these factors, dependent upon which the lack of receptivity is originated. Remove these factors, lack of receptivity will also be removed. So what's the opposite of lack of receptivity? Receptivity will creep in. Okay, this is the whole idea. So now, how to create this receptivity, right? How to create this receptivity? So sometimes for some programs or to sell products, to marketing the products. Do people call like us? Please, they advertise on television. These people hire what kind of people? Celebrities. Why? When the celebrities say to that, the ordinary people like us, we think it must be something, right? When people like us come there, who are you, right? They will just delete it like this. You're getting it? The celebrity comes, oh, it must be something, right? Okay. So this is where the greatest of the celebrity in the eyes of ordinary people is the Indra and Brahma. These are the greatest celebrity, these people. When these people, they come to Buddha, oh, I thought that there was just the ascetic there, sitting under the Bodhi tree, and nothing to do, he must not, maybe he's chilling out, right? Nothing to do, right? Yeah, I saw that person. Yeah, I saw that person. But Indra and Brahma, they are coming now, right? Indra and Brahma, we pray. Indra, please let me have the vision of you. They pray. Brahma, they pray. But to this person who's under the Bodhi tree, Indra and Brahma, they come, make persuasions. He must be very special. He must be very special, right? Then it draws the attention of these people, ordinary people. So this is how the receptivity is originated by seeing that these factors, right? It must be something very special. This person must have something very special which the ordinary people do not have. Ordinary people who are so good in astrology, so good in the other arts, sciences, and so forth. And these people, they pray to Indra and Brahma. But this person, he doesn't pray to Indra Brahma. He's just sitting under the Bodhi tree, hardly having any food to eat. But Indra Brahma, they come there, make presents to him. He must have something more than what we call as the educated people, the people who are expert in the various sciences, he must have something more to offer than these people. So what is that thing? So this, the Buddha said, profound, peaceful, elaborate, what is that? Elaboration free, clear light, non-composite. Such a nectar-like Dharma is what I've discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return to the words. So this is what I have to offer. Something which is so profound, peaceful elaboration. So profound, more profound than the sciences that you see prevalent on the earth. And you experience it, it's so peaceful. All your pains, fears, anxiety, stress will dissolve into peace. Profound, peaceful, elaboration free. All this messiness of the conventionalities will dissolve, right? For small things we fight. For small things we fight. Husband, wife, right? Why do you keep the mobile here? It should be here. What's there if it is there or there? What's there, right? Why do you keep the kettle here, not here, right? Who's going to cook today? Yes, I cook, right? So today it should be you. Who's that? Actually, you saying it's your turn now, right? So for small things we fight. So all these are just self-created elaborations. All these elaborations dissolve in this experience. Elaboration free, clear light. Experience so beautiful like the clear light. Such a natural Dharma, non-composite, which is not something our mind composes. Our mind creates unnecessary rules, regulations, right? Come tomorrow, right? Not which you can easily, with your own power, with the authority, you can easily make things happen. But then just unnecessary creating problems. It's self-creation problem. So, non-composite, not composed by our conceptual thoughts, the reality. They're so profound. If you experience it, it liberates you. If you don't experience it, you are trapped there in this dream. So that is so precious. This is what I have to offer. Yet, it's so profound that I don't see anybody. Then the Indra Brahma, they made more requests. Then the factors to create the receptivity in the people, they're even more intensified. So the people, still the Buddha is not giving the teaching. So Indra Brahma, they make more requests. That must be really very serious. I must learn it, right? Okay, this is one thing. So in a way, the Buddha is deliberately creating the conditions for the receptivity in the minds of the beings. With the receptivity, then the person will delve into it. It's so easy. Without the receptivity, no point. It's like dragging somebody to, drink the water. The horse will not drink the water. Passion, in the ordinary terms, is a passion. For going into your career, there must be the people who ask you, do you have the passion to do this? So going to research, do you have the passion to do the research? If you don't have the passion, no point. You will just leave it. You will quit this very soon if you don't have the passion. So the passion is required. So receptivity. In the ordinary terms, passion. In the more the standard terms, it's the receptivity of the individuals. That is so precious. Okay. So with this, this teaching, and only when you realize that there's something, that the gold is different from the brass. In the eyes of ordinary people, gold and brass, these two are similar. Ordinary people, they see a brass statue, they did this gold statue. They cannot make the distinction. If they cannot make the distinction between these two things, then you will not value the gold from the more than the brass. So, with this symbol dynamics, they see that, people who are so expert in all the other sciences, they revere Indra Brahma. But this person is not revering Indra Brahma. Indra Brahma is respecting this person. There must be something more than what Indra Brahma knows. So what is that? Then the Buddha said, this is the wisdom. You get it, you'll be awakened, your miseries will stop. So then people become so receptive to this teaching. Okay, so with this, then the Buddha taught the four schools. The four schools, step by step, the four steps. Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chedamatra, and Madhyamika. Okay, so we have to remember these, and if you remember these points, meaning what are the four schools, what are the three transcendental dharma, and so forth. If you remember these, what are the two obscurations within your mind, what are the two goals, and what are the remedies to overcome this. When you learn all these things, then when you listen to these discourses, there's a flow of joy within you. Whereas if you don't learn these, then you get stuck with these technical terms, and you will never enjoy it, and at times then you may not value it, no receptivity. Okay, with this in mind, the first temple of Dharma, the place is Sarnath, and the target audience. The target audience of the four schools is the first and second, the beings who follow the first and the two philosophical schools, Vaibhashika and Sautrantika. So these two are the target audience of the first temple of Dharma. So what is the subject matter? Subject matter, the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths in their simplest form, in the simple form, Four Noble Truths. This is what the Buddha taught. So while the Buddha taught this, the Buddha taught that Four Noble Truths the way the ordinary people can understand it. Four Noble Truths to exist truly, exist as objectively, exist as truly. Then second temple of Dharma, the place is in Rajgir, and the target audience is the number 4, not the number 3. Number 1 and 2, target audience of the first temple of Dharma, and second temple of Dharma, target audience is number 4. What is number 4? Madhyamika. Madhyamika, number 4. And then the and the subject matter is known as the emptiness of intrinsic reality. Subject matter is emptiness of intrinsic reality, or emptiness of self-characteristics. Emptiness of self-characteristics, or emptiness of intrinsic reality. Self-characteristics. Emptiness of self-characteristics. Okay, so we see that in the first temple of Dharma, Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths to exist as object real. Okay. The first temple of Dharma, the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths as truly real, truly objectively real, or as truly existent. And second temple of Dharma, the Buddha said nothing exists truly, nothing exists objectively real. This is about the second temple of Dharma. Then so of the four schools, people who follow the first school, second school, they're happy with the first temple of Dharma. People who are following the fourth school, Madhyamika school, or the middle way school, the fourth of Madhyamika means the middle way. These people are happy with second temple of Dharma. And another class of people is left. What is that? Chedamatra is left. The third one, Chedamatra is left. So they're a little confused. In fact, in terms of the intelligence, the first two schools, they are less intelligent. The fourth one is the most intelligent. And it is not like, oh, you are intelligent, you are not intelligent. This is not the point. Say the one person, say beginner level, you are less matured. Philosophically, cognitively, you are less matured. And then you keep maturing. If you keep learning, your cognitive ability, it keeps increasing. This is what happens naturally. So therefore, particularly with people who study emptiness and practice it well, study extensively, these people, when you turn age 70, 80, 90, suffering from the dementia is much less. The possibility for people who go through these studies, emptiness studies, and who actually study them extensively and reflect on the nuances, these people to go through dementia right? And Alzheimer's, yes. Alzheimer's disease will be much less because you're cognitively keeping yourself so active. And how the brain works, with emptiness and how the brain works with other activities is very different. So that activity of brain is so extremely refined that even when you reach age 70, 80, 90, suffering from Alzheimer's is going to be much, much, much less chance. So, how many don't want to suffer from Alzheimer's? Raise hands, be serious, raise hands. Okay, if you don't want to suffer Alzheimer's, right, then better study emptiness. Because in Tibet, there was one Tibetan aristocrat, the Ngabu Ngajime. I learned that he and his wife, in the last phase of their life, when they were in the 90s, they spent every day. They spent 1 hour doing what is a mahjong. Mahjong is a Chinese version of the gambling. Not for the sake of gambling. Gambling means just to indulge yourself. Not for that purpose. Just to keep your mind active. So not to suffer from Alzheimer's. Yeah, very smart. Very smart. But smarter is to study emptiness. To study emptiness now. Study emptiness now. Your brain, the wiring will be very different. Will be very firm, fresh. And say as you grow older, like 70, 80, 90, look at His Holiness. His Holiness Dalai, already 87. But if you are to sit next to His Holiness, his mind, the freshness of his mind is like 20 years old, young boy or girl. This is the freshness of his mind. And look at my teacher, Venerable Geshe, the Ishidaki Rinpoche, who some of you met recently. Those who met Tejala and Nizala and the Gorilla. Anyone else? Okay, here, Chorila. So, you wouldn't believe, Ajirji, right? Yes. You wouldn't believe he was then, when Tibetans, we invited him to give the last teaching, he was already 91 or 92, already. And the people were just amazed that they, during the question answer session, they asked the question, they could not articulate their own question so well. You utter two, three lines, he understands what you're asking. He will then raise the question for you. He will formulate the question for you. Is this your question? You will somebody, yes, in few lines, in just few words, he will paraphrase the question and he gives answers. The mind is so fresh. No chance for Alzheimer's. You getting it? So this is where your mind works very differently. Your brain works very differently. A study of the emptiness. Even for that purpose, even for a very mundane purpose, you study emptiness, don't worry about Alzheimer's. Right? Okay, this is one thing. And with this, the question is, then the second turn of Buddha Dharma, the Thavidians is the Madhyamika philosophers. So they are very happy. The teaching is that nothing is truly real. The emptiness of intrinsic reality, emptiness of objective reality, emptiness of self-characteristics. So this is the subject matter of the second turn of Buddha Dharma. So the Chittamatra, Chit is the mind. Matra is only mind. Mind only school. These people whose the mindset tallies with this school, they are a little confused. They are like the average intelligence. Of course, the same person who's following Chittamatra, later on, cognitively, they can become very enriched and become the Madhyamikas later on. Each one of us, we can follow like this. They are confused. In the first turn of Dharma, the Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths exist truly, object real. In the second turn of the Buddha Dharma, Buddha said nothing exists truly, nothing exists as real, nothing exists as object real, and with self-characteristics. So which should I take it more seriously? The first turning or the second turning? They're confused. So, Bodhisattva Pramat Samudgata. There's one Bodhisattva. Third turning of Dharma. The place-wise, Vaishali, Target audience, Chittamatra. Subject matter wise, this is what we're going to discuss here. This is going to be a little technical. Subject matter wise, the Chittamatras, they were a little confused, and then on their behalf, say at Vaishali, the place Vaishali, attended by many huge gathering, particularly by the highly evolved bodhisattvas. Highly evolved bodhisattvas like Bodhisattva Aravaliteshvara, Aramanjushri, all these bodhisattvas are there. And of these 10 bodhisattvas, high level bodhisattvas, they asked 10 different questions to the Buddha. And the Buddha responded to each of these questions, one of which was a question asked by Bodhisattva Pramad Samudgada. In Tibetan, Tundamyandapak. Chanju Semba, Tundamyandapak. Pramad Samudgada. So what he asked, of course he did not require this in the response. So he knew that so many people confused. Chittamatrins, all people following Chittamatra philosophy, they are confused. So on their behalf, he stood up, made prostration to Buddha, and then asked this question. The Tathagata, the Buddha, the full awakened one, at one point in Sarnath, the fully awakened one taught that Four Noble Truths exist truly. In Rajgir, the Tathagata taught that nothing exists truly. So which is true? Which are true teachings? Superficially, these two are contradictory. But there must be a reason why the Tathagata taught these two contradictory teachings. There must be a reason. What's the reason, if we may know? Then the Buddha interpreted his own teachings. This interpretation of the teachings, the first two teachings, came to be known as the third turning of the Buddha Dharma. And if time permits, I'll be happy to explain this part. What is the interpretation which the Buddha did, which later came to be known as the third turning of the Buddha Dharma? Anybody who likes to remind me? Okay, if possible, new hands. 1, your name? Mehek. Ritual. 2, Naveenji. 3, one more. Okay, your name? Ayushi. Ayushi or Ayushik? Ayushi. Okay, 4 of them. Again, raise hands. Higher. Okay, everybody, so that everybody can see you. Thank you. Okay, so this is. Okay, Ayushi, tell me, what are you going to remind me? Wonderful. So how the Buddha interpreted his own earlier two teachings, the first Noble Dharma, second Noble Dharma, how did he interpret that? Right? Which later came to be known as the third Noble Dharma. So this, what is that interpretation? That is what you are to remind me later on. Maybe 4th or the 5th day. Good. Okay. So these are 3 terms of Dharma. Now, finally, say we talk about always recite Tyatha Gade Gade Bara Samgade Bodhiswa. What is Gade Gade in English? Go beyond, go utterly beyond, and establish your full awakening. Okay, the 5 points. Gate, para samgate, bodhiswa. Go from where? Go to where? Go from where? Go from the state of misery to the state of miserylessness. Go from the state of lack of happiness to the infinite happiness. And where is that state? The fearlessness, miserylessness, and the infinite space. Where is that place? Nowhere outside, it is within you. So how to go? Anyone? How to go? Hey, how to go? Huh? Wake up. Right? Anybody else? There are so many versions of this. How to go? One is wake up, this one version. Meaning that the same understanding can be in words, it can come out differently. Anybody else? By engaging with the path of accumulation, study, wisdom draws through study, wisdom draws through reflection, wisdom draws through meditation. Huh? To remove the mental defilements, yes. To remove the mental defilements, how to do that? By the three wisdoms. To remove the mental defilements. There's a journey. Go. Go means journey. It's a journey. The journey of removing your mental defilements, not external journey. You're getting it? Journey of removing your mental defilements. And how to remove this? How to train the thinking? Thinking in what? Thinking in sociology? Then? Thinking in obscurations. Remove the obscurations or thinking in obscurations? Okay. Huh? Okay. Okay. Thinking of obscurations. Thinking in terms of obscuration to be removed. Wonderful. Okay. So finally, it's a journey of removing mental defilements. And how to go about doing that is anybody else? Something new. Don't repeat what somebody else. Huh? Okay. I say by removing the mental defilements. What's the root of the mental defilements? Ignorance. How to remove the ignorance? Okay. Now look. So say later on. Don't be the same person of what is that? 2022 September 5th, the first session of the 5th, right? Don't be that same person. Now you already attended for 4 sessions already, for 5 sessions already, right? You should keep gade. Don't remain the same person, right? Don't give the same answer. I give the answer a little more articulate, with greater articulation. Okay.
Maybe please go beyond all the schools. You should not stop.
Okay. Don't speculate. Don't speculate. The best thing is try to learn. First, learn. Don't speculate. If you speculate, you will end up in a very strange world systems, right, which can eat you up. Right? Don't speculate. First, learn. Gather the information. Subject them to analysis so that it becomes your knowledge, right? Don't be hurried to hear your knowledge, right? First, learn these things. Don't speculate. Okay. So we see that somehow we are to remove the mental defilements. And the mental defilements, what we said is that afflictive and cognitive. And afflictive are 3 kinds. What are they? Contaminant karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds. And these afflictive obscurations boil down to root is ignorance. You're getting it? Okay. What is cognitive obscuration? The second part. What is cognitive obscuration? Okay, this is the those of you who already learned about it, perfect. Who have not learned, don't speculate. You're getting it? Don't speculate. And I'm glad what the Ishida gestured. She gestured that I don't know. This is how we have to begin. Don't speculate. You're getting it? For example, if I ask you, I say what's the name of my father? Don't guess. Don't guess. If you guess, you are a horrible person. Your sense of judgment is so bad. Whereas if I ask you what's my age, you can guess. You're getting it? You can guess from my physical look, from how I talk. You can guess from many angles. But if I ask what's the name of my father, if you know it, well and good. If you don't know it, don't guess it. It's just waste of your time. You're getting it? You have to know when to guess, when not to guess. Guess means speculate, right? When to speculate, when not to speculate. This distinction must be there. That is a smart person. Okay, what is cognitive obscuration? I'll give you an example. Okay. Let's say that I don't eat garlic. This is the common example that I give. Say I don't eat garlic. And somebody smashed garlic in my mug. Then I said, who did it? somebody smashed garlic in my mouth, and you said, I'm very sorry, I did it, right? And then you take it and you wash it so well. You remove the garlic and expose to water and remove it under the water, and there's no garlic at all there. Okay, is there any garlic there now? No garlic. You smell it? It still smells garlic. Although there's no solid garlic there, but it still smells garlic. So the solid garlic is a metaphor for the afflictive obscurations. And the smell of the garlic is the metaphor for cognitive obscurations. You're getting it? Removing the ignorance, still there's a smell of the ignorance left. That is the cognitive obscurations. Removing the contaminant karmas, afflictions, the active seeds of the two, and all rooted to ignorance, removing all these, still the smell, subtle stain is left. That is the cognitive obscuration. And some of you, okay, what would be your next question? Anyone? Huh? How to remove it, or anybody else? Huh? What are they meaning? Which one? Afflictions, contempt karmas. These are already explained. Huh? Okay. What exactly is this contempt? This smell is just an example, right? Example is not a cognitive obscuration. So with this example, you have to know exactly what is cognitive obscurations. So what exactly is cognitive obscurations? What is the referent of this example? What's the referent of this example? The subtle smell of the garlic as example. What is the referent point to identify the precisely what exactly is cognitive obscurations? Okay, this is a huge question. Who's going to remind me? Who's going to remind me later on? Today we cannot do it. Dejala. Anyone else? Okay, Rahul, Raviji, and Ishita, Indrajit. Okay, some of them, raise hands. Okay, if possible, you try to note their names. Otherwise, later on, you will be confused. Right? Okay, these people, they're going to remind us what exact cognitive obscurations. And after saying this, after you reminding me whether an answer will come or not, even that is not sure. It depends on your receptivity. You're getting it? So where you grow to a certain point where you are eligible to understand it, I'll be happy to explain this. Right? Let's see. Okay. Fourth, fifth day. Not before that. 100% not before that. Yes.
Can you revisit the idea of afflictive?
Cognitive obscuration. What's your name?
Not cognitive.
Afflictive. What's your name?
Yeah.
AR. Okay. Thank you, AR. What is afflictive obscurations? Okay, example-wise, it's like the solid garlic. Example-wise. Then in terms of the classifications, 3. Contaminant karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds. So if you know what is affliction, then you can understand contaminant karmas easily and the active seeds also easily. What is affliction? Affliction is defined as, as a mental factor. A mental factor, say the presence of which disturbs your mind. A mental factor like anger, the presence of which within the individual disturbs the individual. This is the meaning of, for example, anger, attachment, jealousy, craving. Anxiety. The anxiety is more like the resultant state. It's not the affliction. It's a resultant state of the affliction. And so say like wrong view, like say the arrogance, conceit. All these things, they fall under the affliction. And the actions somehow driven by these afflictions, and ignorance also. Ignorance is worst of the worst of the affliction. And the actions, physical, verbal, mental actions driven by these afflictions, they are known as contaminated karmas. Then the seeds, within a mind which may not manifest so obviously, left by these, which has the potential to germinate into these afflictions, or the contaminant karmas are known as the active seeds of these. So these three are the afflictive obscurations. And the presence of this blocks you from attaining nirvana. What is nirvana? Freedom from all miseries. Okay, this is how you understand the afflictive obscurations. Good? Okay. So now the point is, from this what we learn is that our journey, Gade, the journey is the journey of removing, cleansing our mind of the mental defilements. What is the mental defilements? Afflictive obscurations and cognitive obscurations. And afflictive obscurations, we see that it eventually boils down to ignorance. Ignorance, misperceiving the reality. Ignorance. And that is like the ignorance and its active seeds and the offshoots in the form of gross afflictions, contaminant karmas, they all become the afflictive obscurations. Now, look, there's like the solid garlic, remove the solid garlic, still there's a subtle smell there. Of ignorance, it has a subtle stain. These form the cognitive obscurations. So which means that be it the afflictive obscurations or cognitive obscurations is all related to the ignorance. Ignorance, when it becomes the gross, it all falls in a category of afflictive obscuration. When it becomes subtler than the active seeds, subtler, it becomes the inactive seeds, they are known as the cognitive obscurations. Okay, so they're all related to ignorance. So our job is to remedialize, gade is to remove the mental defilements. So for that we have to apply the remedies. So remedy lies in the remedy should be the okay. So let's say ignorance. So somehow is related to ignorance, be it the offshoots of ignorance itself, or the subtle stains of the ignorance. So ignorance is like darkness. How many of you agree with me? Ignorance is like darkness. In dark you don't see the reality. With ignorance you don't see the reality. In dark you don't see what is around you. With ignorance, with ignorance, you don't see the reality. It blurs you from having the vision of the reality. So how do you remove the darkness? Only by introducing light. Do you agree with me or not? Only by introducing light. No other way. Likewise, to remove the darkness of ignorance, it is only through introducing the light of the wisdom. No other way. This is the reality. It is only through introducing the light of the wisdom that the darkness of ignorance can be eradicated. There's no other way. There's only way. Okay. So what is this wisdom of emptiness? What is this wisdom? This wisdom should have two qualities. This wisdom should have two qualities. One, this wisdom should be, this light of the wisdom, this light must be very bright. Number two, this light must be very steady. This light must be very bright, must be very steady. Bright meaning, if the light, if the candle that you light, if this candle, the flame of the candle is very feeble, it does not serve for you to read the book. So for that, the light must be very bright. And if from the corner of the room, if there is a wind blowing and the flame is very fickle, flickery, again it does not serve the purpose for you to read the works. So the light must be very bright and also it should be very steady. Two qualities. The brightness is a metaphor for the sharpness of your intelligence. Your intelligence must be very sharp. And the steadiness of the light is the metaphor for the stability of your wisdom. The stability and the sharpness of wisdom. These two qualities are required. So with this, what happens is that you say, in order to cut this very huge, the poisonous tree, you need an extremely sharp axe. And the stability, the woodcutter should have a very stable hand. Sharp axe must be extremely sharp. And the woodcutter should have a very stable hand. But if the woodcutter is very lazy, you just hit the tree 2 times, we'll say, and we'll have the tea, cookies, right? And then gupshup, right? Gupshup means gossip, right? And then, hey, this is your job. Oh yeah, look at this, huge. It'll take ages. I'll do tomorrow, right? Then the effect of poison is going to be continuously with you and the whole community. So you have this wonderful axe there, and the woodcutter has such a stable hand. Still, the wood is not being cut, right? So what's the problem? Where does the problem lie? Anyone?
Direction.
Huh?
Direction.
He has proper direction. He has a very stable hand. He does have enthusiasm, right? He does have enthusiasm, right? He does have enthusiasm. Laziness, which is no enthusiasm, right? So, what enthusiasm required, right? What enthusiasm? And they say finishing high school, finishing college, and completing a PhD, which requires the biggest of the greatest of the enthusiasm? High school, or college, or PhD? Why?
No, high school.
High school enthusiasm, right?
You don't want to be there. PhD, you choose to do it.
This is what I'm saying. If I say that all of us, we'll do the PhD, right? Then, right, all of us, we have to do the high school. Okay, all of us will study emptiness, right? All of us will study emptiness. We'll make sure that we'll study and we'll realize emptiness, right? And we have a course. Tibetans, we have 3 courses. Not a master's course, not a diploma course, and not a certificate course, right? I said there are 3 courses. Can you imagine what is the most common question coming from the audience? Can you imagine this? Yes. How long? What's the duration of the master's course? What the duration of diploma course? What's the duration of certificate course? Right? For the, believe it or not, for the not a master's course, so total enrollment, the first batch, 460. For the Nalanda diploma course, like 700 people. For the Nalanda certificate course, almost hitting 1,000. Almost hitting 1,000 students. You're getting it? What do you think is where lies the difference? Why the first one is only 460? Why the second one is only like 700? The third one is like hitting 1,000. We have to put a stop there, right? Why? Anyone? Yes. And as the duration is longer, the enthusiasm is, people with enthusiasm is less, right? So 5 years means a huge commitment, right? Not only they feel that is huge commitment for themselves, they also think that whether Geshe can actually do it, right? They asked me actually, Geshe, are you going to be in Tibet House? Are you sure you'll be in Tibet House for 5 years? They asked me when we first started Nagarjuna, of course, right? So not only that they don't, I'm sure they have the enthusiasm, but many of the people, not only that they don't have the enthusiasm, they just want to, but he has the enthusiasm himself. Getting it? Okay. So the point is that as the journey is longer and more difficult, enthusiasm is less. So we have 2 goals. One is nirvana, one is Buddhahood. Nirvana for yourself, Buddhahood for all. Say somebody to feed yourself and somebody to feed 10 children. Of the 2, who requires more enthusiasm to work to get this amount of food? The one feeding 10 people or one feeding himself? One feeding 10 people. So who requires more enthusiasm? One to liberate oneself, or one to think of liberating all beings? Liberating all. Okay, so with this in mind, given that there are two goals, one just a liberation for yourself and one liberation for all beings, the desire to attain the liberation, liberate just the freedom to be freed from afflictive obscurations of the two. The desire, aspiration to remove the afflictive obscurations, that aspiration is known as renunciation. And the aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, or the aspiration to remove the cognitive obscurations, that is known as bodhicitta. You getting it? So, with enthusiasm, there are two. Enthusiasm to remove afflictive obscurations, enthusiasm to remove the cognitive obscurations. To remove cognitive obscurations, it is that the removing afflictive obscurations is included. Because to remove the cognitive obscurations, it is done only through removing the afflictive and cognitive both. So, in other words, desire to remove the afflictive obscurations and the desire to remove the cognitive obscurations of the two. The first one is known as renunciation, and the second one is known as bodhicitta. You getting it? Okay. So the point is that we're talking about this. The wisdom is like the very sharp axe with the woodcutter who has a very the steady hand. With this, what is required? Enthusiasm is required. If the enthusiasm is just renunciation, no bodhicitta, at the most it can cut the poisonous tree of the afflictive obscurations, and it will make you free from suffering. It will make you attain nirvana, but not Buddhahood, not infinite happiness. Whereas if the same wisdom, if complemented by the enthusiasm of the bodhicitta, then you can not only remove the afflictive obscurations, you remove the cognitive obscurations as well. Thereby, you become the fully awakened being. You attain total fearlessness as well as infinite happiness. You're getting it? Okay. So, from this, we realize that we need to practice. We need to learn three things. One is stable wisdom. Number two is bodhicitta. Number three is renunciation. Enthusiasm, there are two. One is the bodhicitta, one is renunciation. So these three things are this. With the renunciation, it will make the bodhicitta. Oh yes. With renunciation, the bodhicitta can grow. Without renunciation, bodhicitta will not be there. Then the wisdom. So these three things are required. Right? Okay, I'm being carried away. So somebody should be there to let's say the Matthews. What do you do is that say every time before 5 minutes, right? This, yes, but not yes like this. Otherwise, I may not see. Okay, we stop here. Tirtha Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyata